Hello, hello. Hey, Gems. Hey, gents. Welcome back to the part two, whatever you want to call it, our second virtual book release event in celebration of our newest anthology, Audacity. Yes, this is what we are here to celebrate the release of this book and all of the amazing contributing authors who shared a story in Audacity. So if you were with us at 2 o'clock, then you already know the tone. You already know the diamond standard. You are already acquainted with the transparency and the realness that takes place during these conversations. Also, if you were here at 2 o'clock, you already know what I'm going to ask you to do. I am going to encourage you, rather, to share this live. Go ahead and tag people that you know, tag people that you don't know that you see sometimes on your social media. Just go ahead and tag them. Tell them to get in here. Tell them to come in and support these amazing women and their powerful stories. Take a moment to write shared in the comments if you've truly shared the live. Go ahead and comment shared because we do have a giveaway. We gave one of our Audacity gift boxes away at the 2 o'clock show, and we are going to do the same for our 6 o'clock audience and viewers. We are truly grateful that you are here with us. We are grateful that you are supporting yet another project of the Diamond Writers. For those of you who are not familiar with this organization, and forgive me to my 2 o'clock folks, I did not do this introduction. I think I jumped right in. But for those of you who are not familiar with Transparent Gem Inc. or the Diamond Writers, Transparent Gem Inc. Is an organization, a boutique publishing consultancy that I started in 2017. Just my passion to help Black writers get more stories to the market. So our services provided. We do everything from manuscript to market, so all of the in between. But the most important part of what we do is helping to empower you through your narrative that you can then empower others. And so there is a holistic piece to what we do. It's not just about writing a book and getting it on the market, but it's understanding the meaning and the mission behind your book and behind your publication. From TGI in 2020, at the height of COVID-19, the Holy Spirit placed it on my heart to write a book. I wanted to write a book about being pretty broken, how my entire life I've been told how pretty I am, but I felt like people did not see the brokenness that was just underneath, that the pretty was simply a veneer to what I really felt and believed about myself. And I was broken. And so I shared with a friend that I was going to be writing this book, and she asked if she could be a part of it. And then that conversation, I started talking to another friend, and she's like, I want to participate as well. And eventually it grew into a collective. We had 10 contributing authors in our very first publication, Pretty Broken. I called on some women, and some women called on me to be a part of that project. And from there, I created the Diamond Writers, and we are now celebrating book five, which is called Audacity, Living Life in Color. And so I'm really thrilled about the work that we've been able to do over the past 5 years. I'm excited about what's ahead for the next 5 years. And I have some help. It's not just me tonight. You're going to meet some amazing women, some powerful, audacious women who have gone through a lot. They've been through some things, and they are here to share it with you because of the victory in which they wrote from, concerning their story. So, listen, without further ado, I already have my first diamond in the building. She is already backstage and ready to go. This young lady I met book two, during the release of book two. She showed up and began serving, walking through the door. And all day I kept asking people, who is that? Who invited her? Who knows her? Because I was so impressed with her servant leadership and her servant's heart. And when she joined the Diamond Writers, that attitude did not change. And if anything, it was amplified. And she is now the co-lead of the Diamond Writers. She works in tandem and in partnership with Jessica Newman, who you met at the 2 o'clock hour. And so I want to give you an opportunity to meet the other co-leader of the Diamond Writers organization. Y'all know her as Lady JA, but she is Danielle to me. Come on out, Danielle. Hey. How are you?
Good. Super excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Happy book launch day.
I know it's so surreal, just
Yeah,
from the first release I experienced with Beneath the Crown till now, just how much we've accomplished as a unit, as a collective, and the growth that's happened in between. So
yeah.
it's exciting.
It's been amazing. It has been so amazing. I see your book there in the background. She's looking lovely. She's very gorgeous. Absolutely. So look, do me a favor, and you've been through this a couple of times because you've written with us before, but please introduce yourself, all of you, and tell our gems and gents a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, so I am Lady J.A. This name is honoring the memory of my mother, Judith Ann. It was actually her license plate, but when I joined this collective and I was thinking of a name to write under, it felt fitting because I want to honor her memory. She was a bookworm. So um, that's who I am with the Diamond Writers. But by day, I am Danielle Lawson, a clinical laboratory scientist. I run 2 quality control labs for New York Blood Center, which is always very fun.
I bet.
My contribution to Audacity was the audacity to be me. And me is an acronym meaning meet expectation.
Mhm.
And what I dove into, which is something I think, I don't even know if I hid under or just didn't realize or identify what it was that was affecting me for some time. Just sharing the pressure or weight that was on me to fit an expectation put on me by other standards.
Mhm.
And it stemmed from my conversation with you. I don't even know if
Mhm.
you realize or remember during our one-on-one telling me what you felt God wanted me to write about or address.
Mhm.
And that was me as a person, beyond being a mother, because I am a mother of 3, beyond being a professional, just me identifying who I am. And you suggested the acronym.
Mhm.
So you definitely gave me the ultimate task. And
Amen.
I'm really proud of it. I think it's my first time really diving into my creativity, and taking a different approach to how I wrote it.
Yeah. And the tone of the entire chapter is extremely poetic. There's a lot of rhythm, there's a lot of um synergy, from sentence to sentence. The flow of it all is so impressive. And normally when we send our chapters to the editor, I just kind of, skim through them. I don't really read them in detail. I read them in detail when she returns them.
Right.
um and so I didn't see all of your chapter. And then she had emailed me and was like, "Did you see what Lady JA put in her chapter?" And I'm like, "No, is it bad? Oh my God, is she cussing? Is she, is she cutting up? Is she threatening somebody?" I said, "Lord." So I pull it up on my Word document, and the ending, um, I don't even know what to call it, but it I was bawling when I saw it. And I promised myself that when I had this moment with you, that I would thank you for seeing me
Oh,
and feeling enough about the impact I've had in your life to write what you wrote at the end of your chapter. It was so beautiful. And like I said, I didn't see it because I was like, okay, Danielle spells right. Okay, oh, let's get it out. And so for her to bring it to my attention, it blessed me. So thank you. And thank you for your transparency and your growth. So talk to our gens and gents a little bit more about what led you to write this piece. I know you said our conversation, but you went really deep into acceptance. You went deep into identifying yourself outside of all of your titles and responsibilities. Like, what was that like for you, having to sit and deal with you to write about you?
mm. Oh, I think having to deal with me was the hardest part because it's not something that's gone, right? It's an ongoing piece of me that I'm working through, and finally coming to the realization that I just need to make my own, right? And live up to my own expectations. But it was it was a challenge. And I feel like, I almost feel like you've been placed in my life to give me that push. I always was a person that self-evaluated,
Mhm.
and try to understand where certain feelings came from. But you give me that extra nudge to address things that I'm just like, it's not that bad. Um, I can work through it, just leave
Yeah.
that there. But
Right.
and that was part of me doing, and I don't want to say a tribute, but for me acknowledging you and the part that you've played in my growth. Um, and writing that chapter made me more aware of where I started as a diamond in 22 to where I am now. I've grown emotionally. I've become more aware. And it's forced me to accept accept that I've been through some stuff and now look where I'm at,
Yeah.
and to leave it there. Um,
Yeah.
so it was a lot. It was a lot, and it felt good to write.
Mhm.
Even the rhythm helped me feel like, yeah, like we good though.
I love that. It's definitely rhythmic and it's definitely a flow. I think what our beta readers really loved about your chapter was the mirror. There were so many mirror facing moments in your chapter, and I think that's the significant part that people miss in the healing journey. They believe that healing means forgive everybody that hurt me, let go of what hurt me, but we rarely ever push, but are you dealing with you? Are you looking at you? And there was so much looking at me in
Yeah.
your chapter. And so it was so fitting to name it me. Um, when you think about our readers and you think about those that are going to read your story
Mhm.
where you're dealing a lot with yourself, what are you hoping you kind of ignite in them? What do you hope that would be resonant with them?
Oh, I hope that in some way they see themselves in that, because we tend to be out here thinking we're the only ones going through something, right? We're the only ones that experience this. Because at some point in my chapter, I discuss a feeling of panic and anxiety. And what I've realized in sharing and getting feedback on my chapters, I'm not the only one. It's relatable. And I hope what they get is that you're not alone out here, and there's something on the other side of it if you just push. When
Yeah.
it gets real uncomfortable and you feeling like you've just had enough and there's no more, just got to just go just a little bit beyond that, because there's something amazing on the other side of it. There's always something amazing on the other side of healing. So
Yeah.
whatever that looks like for you, I hope my chapter encourages you to push.
Yeah. I love that. So you joined us, as you mentioned, in 22, and you were serving at the event like you had been around us your entire life. Like you were very comfortable serving in that space. And now, fast forward 3 years later, you are a co-lead of the Diamond Writers community. You are a TGI leader. When you look at the journey, what has this been for you? Not just as a writer and someone who released, but now being in a position to empower other women to go through the same thing you did the work through. What does that feel like for you?
Um, I'm gonna say 2 points. First, I want to address my first Diamond Writer experience. I was not comfortable. I, in fact, was very uncomfortable, and not because of you guys at all,
Um,
because of me. Because I was
okay.
in a new environment, because I didn't know anybody, because I took a chance and drove out there and was like, Lord, this is gonna be hit or miss, but whatever it is, you know. And seeing you ladies, I just felt like I needed to do something to help. And I couldn't
Mhm.
just sit there and see a need and not feel like I could do something to help them to make this day go a little smoother. So there's that. When you asked me to co-lead the Diamond Writers, um, I was hesitant because your shoes, your stilettos are very big to fill. Okay. And I didn't want to compromise the integrity of what you built. And I'm very grateful that I'm co-leading with Jessica, because we're each other's support.
Mhm.
We encourage each other, and just being in a position where I can directly impact other women to assist them in their healing journey. It feels good.
Yeah.
So even in the difficult moments, even when I feel like I'm juggling too much, Diamond Writers is my safe space. Um, so it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely love that. And I feel like you moved right in to it the way you're supposed to. And I think, like I said, I'm really excited to see how you now can transform what you've gotten and give it. And that's what I think excites me most about both of you leading. So aside from leading this collective, what's next for you?
Woo. Well, I don't want to talk about work, but there's a lot going on at work. So I'm trying to
Okay.
get through that work stuff. Um, I have been birthing a work of my own for a very long time, like before Diamond Writers. And I think a lot of my delay is my fear.
Mm,
That tends to be, I mean, and that's commonplace for a lot of people. The one thing that kind of keeps you from taking that next step in something you want to achieve.
mhm.
And I really, and I've been saying it, but I really think it's time for me to birth this baby. I've been pregnant for a very long time.
You
And
gotta
I
do
think
it.
it's time for me to get it out, for me to, because whenever I write, even contributing the chapters, I feel this weight. Like I feel like I've left it
Mhm.
on the paper. And I think it's, I think it's time. So that's
Wow.
something I'm working on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, once you tell me that, you know what happens once I am aware that there is a project in you. So I'm just saying, because Mel was like, and I'm working on a project that the team is going to help me with. I'm glad y'all know that I am going to definitely push that. So how can our gyms and gents connect with you? How can they continue to support you?
Well, like just said, I'm always in the Diamond Riders. You can catch me. You can catch me outside with them anytime. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm quietstorm_7 or on Facebook as Danielle Lawson.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your contribution to this book. Again, I absolutely adore your chapter, not just because of, the words that you've shared about me, but just really seeing how much you've grown. I think that is the most rewarding part about trusting God when there was nothing to see. Like there was literally there was no blueprint. There was nobody else doing this. And so completely going off on faith and then seeing people like you and Jessica and Mel and Chantel and seeing who you've become in just this short time, it makes it all worth it. So thank you so much for all that you've done to contribute in this space. And good luck leading next year because I'm done. I will not be
Ooh, the
interviewing next year. That's gonna be
disrespect.
you.
But listen, I just want to say this. I want to say to you, thank you for allowing us to witness your healing and growth, because not only do you try to create, or do you create an environment for us, you allow us to be in full view of the steps you're taking for yourself. And that is important, because it's very important to lead. It's very, I want to say it's easy, but people in leadership tend not to be the example. They just want to dictate and say what you should be doing. And you have taken off, and I don't want to, make it sound crazy, but you've been fully naked with us and revealing all of what's gone on with you, and the work you've done behind the scenes. And I think that allows us as Diamond Riders to be encouraged to do this process with you. So thank you. Thank you for giving us the audacity to be.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. And I trust y'all wholeheartedly, girl. Y'all see me without my lashes and my wig on, honey. You've seen all of me. Y'all have seen it all. And I thank you. Thank you so much for your words. Thank you, Danielle, for your presence. You are a force. You are a gem. I hope you know that you're a jewel and you are precious, not just to me, but to all of us here. So I'm gonna send you backstage, but you know to stick around if you can and hang out with your
I'll
sisters.
be
I
watching.
love you dearly.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That is Lady J.A., aka the co-lead of the Diamond Writers. And I am just so grateful for her and her work here and her chapter. What amazing work it is. So all right, I have a new diamond with us. This is one of our newest writers, newest sisters, newest in this space. But literally, like many of the diamonds I've described during the 2 o'clock hour, and even what you just heard with Danielle, she came into the community and immediately got into work, immediately got her hands in, immediately started to serve and give. And those are the type of leaders that I gravitate toward, because I know that they see the bigger picture and it's outside of themselves. And so, listen, I will just introduce her and then allow her to introduce herself. But I would love for you all to meet Madam Butterfly, aka Taisha from Brooklyn.
Hey, Brooklyn in the house. Hey.
Look
You
at
know, we had to represent. There was a lot of Queens energy up in
it was.
here. So
It was.
Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
Yes, listen, Queens, we was in here heavy, okay? We was in the building heavy. Let's get into this t-shirt, please. Can we talk?
Yes. How about it? How about it?
I see
How
it.
about it?
I
Yes.
love it. You better show up ready and branded. I'm here for it. Well, welcome. Welcome to the platform. Welcome to this, your virtual book release launch. We are here to celebrate you and your Diamond Sisters. Yes, I'm so glad you're here. So please, if you can, take a moment to introduce yourself and introduce your chapter.
Absolutely. I'll start off with the name of my chapter, and it is called Audacious Faith. My name is Madam Butterfly, aka Taisha Eason. And who I am is a mother to my one and done son. Hey, League, I know you better be tuned in. And, and I am also a leadership developer, wellness advocate, a speaker, as well as a workshop facilitator, and just a lover of God's children.
Yes, come on in here. Okay. And now tell us a little bit more about your chapter.
So my chapter, without giving it away, because you all just really have to, it's such a good and juicy read. Um, what I will say is it shares with you one of my darkest times that I encountered in life. And so that time of darkness was so dark that I couldn't even see my hand before my face.
Mm,
And in that, traversing through the different channels that I had to go through,
yeah.
God told me, my grace is sufficient.
Come
And
on.
in me believing that his grace was sufficient, and because I know that I'm the king's daughter, I knew I had that grace within me. So
Yeah.
I began to tap into what I call my GPS, because I knew I was on a journey, right? And I'm not really good at navigating, especially I'm not to reveal my age. However, I come from the upbringing of the map, the the literal map.
Yes.
So I tapped right. You know a little bit about that. I
Yes.
tapped into what I call my GPS, which is God's proven success
Come on.
navigation system. And
Hmm.
as I started to tap into that GPS navigational system for my journey, I trusted God and I had the audacious faith that God was going to see me through. So I
Hmm.
grounded myself in that. I focused on that. And the more I focused, I was able to see through that darkness and I was able to see a little bit of light that would guide me through that journey. And eventually I started to see it open wider and wider and wider so I could see the destination that God purposed for me straight ahead.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
that's what
Come
this
on.
chapter is about, being able to be audacious in my belief and in my faith that God was going to see me through. And not only that he would see me through, but that I would come out better than I was before I entered that storm.
Yeah. That's amazing. And like you said, I don't want to give away your chapter. But the description, it was a very descriptive read. Like you could not only see the picture you painted with words, but we could feel what you were feeling as you were writing. And I think that was the thing that resonated most with all of our beta readers was I felt like it was a playwright or a screenwrite because it's so much description of feeling and presence, and us being in the spaces that you were in. And so I really appreciate you taking the time to acquaint us with the journey that you were on, so much so that it's like we can envision it as we were reading it. It was extremely powerful. When you were writing it, because I know there are pieces of it that, like you said, were very near and dear to you, that were things that you were going through real time. What did that feel like for you to sit and write that as those emotions were still so raw?
Because the emotions were so raw, I don't know if many of us understand that in order for wounds to heal, they have to be opened, right? They have to be open to the elements of the earth, if
Yeah.
you will, in order for the true healing to begin.
Yeah.
So it was very important that I was showing my transparency and my vulnerability during
Mhm.
that time, and my growth during that time. These are things that I'm it's almost foreign to me to be so transparent and as vulnerable as I was in writing this book, and
Yeah.
tapping into all of those experiences, all of those times that I was feeling possible anger, possible sadness, but then joy, but then happiness. Because so often we behave the way people think we should behave for their comfort,
Mhm. Mhm.
so
Yep.
I can't, I can let the tears flow, but I can't sob, because this person is not used to me sobbing. This person is used to me receiving them as they sob, and they wouldn't be able to handle that. Excuse me,
Yeah.
handle that. And for me, it was a very freeing time, because as I'm writing and I'm looking back, and I'm putting myself back into those spaces, I was like, Lord, I thank you, because it wasn't
Mhm.
even me. He showed himself so mighty and so strong during that time.
Yeah.
And he is who my strength resides in at all times. So yeah, that's what it did for me. It allowed me to continue in my healing process and find joy and peace and resiliency and growth and all of those good things, those feel
Yeah.
good things, in
Yeah.
order for me to heal and allow the opportunity to happen for someone else.
Yeah. That is so powerful. When you Because when you came to the Diamond Riders, it wasn't long after that you experienced your tragedy, and that earthquake or life quake that I like to call it, that thing that shook up your norm. What was that like for you, having to do your healing work in front of us and prepare your story for the rest of the world? What did that feel like for you, being among the diamonds while you were going through everything you were going through?
So I had to think back, and in 2023, that was a treacherous storm for me, from January all the way through, and that wasn't even when my greatest tragedy happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through what I call a pruning season, and I've spoken to you about it before. And if
Mm-hmm.
anyone is unfamiliar with what happens with the pruning process, it's usually associated to horticulture and to trees.
Mm-hmm.
So when trees go through the pruning process, it's when the branches are chopped off, because they see decay and disease and these things that no longer serve the tree or the
Mm-hmm.
trunk or the soil in rich nutrients. So they must come off in order for the new soil and the new growth to begin, for the tree to become healthy again. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was my pruning process, where those things that no longer serve me, those things that were diseased and decayed and decaying in me, they had to be chopped off. And I physically felt as though God were pulling me from limb to limb, and I couldn't understand why he was doing it. And then in October, I believe to be exact, was invited by Shell Mack back into a journaling info session, and
Mm-hmm.
I attended. My husband was listening, and he encouraged me to join the Diamond Riders. He encouraged me and let me know that I had plenty of stories to tell. though I didn't know in that season that God was pruning me in
Yeah.
preparation for what was to come. Because a month later, my whole life changed.
Yeah.
And if not for the Diamond Riders being a part of that, and offering me ways of healing, even in or as my grief began, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah.
So I thank you all for that.
Wow. Wow. To God be the glory. So, what do you hope that our gems and gents and readers take from your chapter?
One thing is that there is freedom in the face of the facts.
Mm,
So many of us hold on to these things um, that think serve us, or we use them as a defense mechanism. In full transparency, one thing for me was control,
mm.
and
Come on.
realizing that God is the controller of all controls.
That's it.
And he's going to do exactly what he needs to do in order to get our attention.
Yeah.
And I needed to realize that I had no control. And in
Mhm.
having no control, I was still okay,
Yeah.
because I am the king's daughter. And he told me that he would never leave me nor forsake me. So I was still safe in his arms. That
Mhm.
was a fact. And in that fact, that provided me freedom. That provided me freedom from any guilt I may have had through my storm.
Yeah.
It provided me from worrying about what others thought about the process that I took through my grieving. It
Mhm.
provided me the freedom to be unapologetically audacious in writing a chapter in
Mhm.
Audacity.
Yes, come on, somebody. Y'all listen. I told Michelle I did not bring my Bible in here. I should have known better. So tell us what's next for you and how can our gems and gents get in contact with you?
Ooh, so that's a lot. You have another hour? Okay. So, really quickly, if I may, yesterday I served as a host for a panel discussion on maternal wellness for Black women, and that was phenomenal. What's
Yeah.
coming up first? I'll talk about the Diamond Riders, and TGI. I am going to be on a Diamond Heist this coming July 2nd, so look out for that. Yes, indeed. So I'll have the Diamond Heist happening. And then after that, we have something really juicy coming up for the gens and gents in the
Yes.
TGI world. Yes, indeed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we do. And this Thursday, I will be co-hosting and a speaker at the Go Women's Health and Business Conference. Yes. I also, alongside Be His Child, who you'll meet later on, am curating, excuse me, a wordsmith experience happening on June 7th. So watch out for that. I am co-directing a Black Kings Gala,
Mhm.
sponsored and empowered by Juneteenth NY. And then you'll see me further down throughout the summertime with various speaking engagements. And I'm just really excited about what God is doing and the doors that He is opening for me to be unapologetically me.
Yes, let's go. I love it. Congratulations on all that is happening. That is all
Thank you.
amazing. And then don't forget to tell them how they can connect with you and follow you.
Absolutely. You can connect with me on Facebook at Tyisha Eason. That's TYISHAEASON. You can also find me on Instagram at Ty Tanel. That's TYTANELLE. And I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. Also, again, you can also find me on the Empowered Prayer Call every
Yes.
Tuesday Thursday, and every other Saturday at 6 a.m.
I know that's right. I know that's right. We be on that call deep, honey, going in.
Sure,
Well, thank
for
you
sure, for sure.
so much for just entrusting the Diamond Rider leaders with your story and with your heart during that season of life. Thank you for, not retreating and not shutting out, but sticking to what you started. I know that was hard, and yet you still showed up in this space and you still poured and you still gave. And we are very grateful for you. Thank you for your contribution. Again, your chapter is the whole book is powerful, but your
Sure
chapter
is.
is really dynamic in bringing us into your space and helping us understand what you were going through. So thank you. And for your heist, y'all better come back and watch it. It's going to be right here on this platform. Make sure that y'all come and watch and participate in the heist that is happening this summer. Taisha, thank you. Madam Butterfly, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
here
Queen
today.
Pen. Yes,
And I will see you soon. Okay. We got pray
yes,
on
you will.
Tuesday.
I promise. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Bye. Oh my gosh, that is just one example of the type of women that God has brought to this space. Just women who look fear in the face, women who say, I'm going to do it anyway, no matter what. They are showing up here, and we're so grateful. So, look, I have two diamonds waiting backstage because, of course, we have gone over time. I can't help it. I want them to share more. I want you all to hear what this journey is like for them. I don't like rushing through it. And so now I know better to schedule more time because they deserve it. They've done a lot. So we are going to bring out the second co-host one of the other co-hosts of the Hustle and Shine podcast. And then we have a new writer, Maverick Mama, who we're going to bring out immediately after. I'm telling you, stick around. You want to be here for these two interviews. But first, let me bring you, y'all know the Phoenix. Get in here, get in here. Are you outdoors?
I sure enough am. I am sitting on Tranquility Terrace, aka my sister's beautiful balcony.
I know that's right. Okay. I love it. I love the scene. I love the green. I love it so much. How are you today?
I am good, girl. I was sweating getting backstage because we were celebrating baby girl birthday up until an hour ago. I was like, go, go, go. Ooh, split in
I'm
safe.
glad you made it. I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad you're here in this space. Um, Listen, I promised myself I was going to keep it together when you got on. It's just certain people that I always just immediately get gushy and all touchy feely soft with, right? But I promised I was going to keep it together with you. But I'm glad you're here. And I want you to please tell everyone who you are and tell them a little bit about your chapter.
All right, all right. First, let me introduce myself. My name is, no, I am Tiffany Mathias. Here in the TGI Diamond Writers community, I am known as Phoenix, one true Phoenix. I am a founding member of the Diamond Writers. Besides the Queen Pen, I am the only Diamond to have written in all five books. So, yeah, and I'm so happy to be here with everyone this evening.
Yes, book number five, baby, book number five. Oh my gosh, we're so glad you're here. So, listen, you have to tell them about your chapter, please.
All right, so my chapter is called The Audacity to Forgive. And I didn't know what it was going to be called. We had a planning call, early on, and you wanted everyone to submit a concept. You didn't want repetitive concepts. You wanted a wide array. And I was like, I don't know what to write about this time. This is book number 5. I don't know if I have anything else to say. And what I realized is each time I wrote about a particular season in my life. And then it dawned on me that the season that I would write about would be the season that I was in. And so I was like, what am I dealing with right now? And it was forgiveness.
Yep.
You know, there has been a lot of wrong done to me. I have done a lot of wrong. And so really trying to be in accountability for my actions, for the things that I did, for the things that I stayed in the presence of, that I shouldn't have. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be the audacity to forgive. And then once I started that, I'm like, well, you know, I still ain't forgave some stuff. And I talk about that, like writing about something while you are still going through it. It's literally one of the most healing and cathartic things,
Yep.
because you begin to separate out, and you get out of your head and your heart what you've been carrying, and then you're able to, at least for me anyway, once I put it on paper or in Google, um, in a Google Doc, it's no longer mine. I'm no longer carrying it. And then once it gets printed, it gets put out to the public, it's no longer mine to carry, but now it's a lesson for people to learn. So, you know, that's what I was focused on.
Yes, come on. And okay, so like I said, I promise I was gonna keep it together, but your chapter ministered to me. I was like,
Hmm.
how is it I'm supposed to be editing this? I'm supposed to be helping to get this all formatted and get this placed in the book, and yet it was helping me because you go through the different stages of forgiveness. And like you said, I don't want to give away too much, but
Not giving away nothing.
I love the way you take us through, like we look at forgiveness as this holistic thing that you do one time, and it's a blanket that covers everything that you haven't forgiven, and that's just not realistic. So walk us
No.
through, like, what made you break it down the way you did.
Okay, so can I tell you, up until about a year and a half ago, when we started talking about this book, I didn't know that there were different types of forgiveness. I thought forgiveness was a very like all or nothing, right? Um, and I discussed being in therapy. I discussed attending workshops and meetings and all these things and reading on forgiveness, because we're always told, you know, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you, right? And I'm like, okay, but what about me am I supposed to get from this? And the
Mhm.
answer is the release, right? But forgiveness does not, we think forgiveness means all is forgiven, right? Clean slate, brand new day, you know, God teaches us to turn the other cheek. And I have always personally had the model that I only have two cheeks on the face. So once you wrong me, you can now deal with the other two, right? And I was right in a sense, but I was not right in how I was going about doing it.
Yeah.
So yes, there's forgiveness where you forgive the person, and you, as I use them in my hashtags, right? You restore, you rise, you reign, right? So we work on restoration, and then
Mhm.
we just go about our business. But that is not always forgiveness. Do you know? And if you read my book, if you read the chapter in the book, you'll know that releasing someone or something, I always just say nouns, right? Releasing nouns, people, places, and things, right?
Mhm.
Is forgiveness. Saying, you know what? I know that I did my best.
Yep.
I'm accepting that you did your best. I'm
Mhm.
accepting the apology, whether you give it to me or not.
That's right.
But I now know that this no longer serves me. And so I'm going to have to leave you here.
Yeah.
And in doing that, in true spirit of forgiveness, I wish you all the best and greatness in your journey as I move forward with mine.
Yes.
So,
That's
yeah.
so good. That is so good. That is so good. Okay. As you mentioned, you are a founding member. You were in the beginning. Okay. You were a part of the genesis. You were part of the inception. You were part of the build. Now looking at book 5 and then
Mhm.
reflecting from book 1, where do you see where, or what would you say was the area you grew the most in this book?
Each chapter, my growth has been in the area of vulnerability.
Mhm.
So I've always, and I still do, and it's something that I'm working on. When I tell my story, and I discuss this in this chapter, right? These are my truths,
Yeah.
right? Whenever someone goes through something, whatever they are experiencing, whatever they tell you, that is their truth. That it is the truth. It's
Yeah.
their truth, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so understanding that as I tell my story, I'm still protecting the other people. I remember one time having a fallout with a person, and they came to me and they were like, I don't appreciate you talking about me, this, that, next, and it was a very heated conversation with somebody who was very near and dear to my heart. And my response back to them was, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about you and I was talking about me, and you're a character in my story.
Mm.
Understand that we are all characters in somebody's story. We are all part of someone's truth. And the truth of the matter is, it may differentiate from what it is that they're saying, and accepting that.
Yeah.
So being very vulnerable and getting my truth out, but not in a way where I tarnish or bash the
Mm.
other characters who are in my story, because at the end of the day, this is only my truth.
Yeah.
They still have a truth to tell, and it will be different from mine. And I
Yeah.
don't want, as they tell their story, for me to be made out to be the bad guy in their life. So,
Yeah.
vulnerability,
I was just gonna say, I love
transparency.
that. I love that. So I know that you have some plans outside of writing. You are still going to be leading here. You're still a
Yes,
team
ma'am.
leader. You're still a diamond leader. But what is next for you in terms of the things you're going to do?
Okay, so one of the things that has been spoken on multiple times is that I hide in the anthologies, and that my stories need to be separate in their own book. And it's something that's been said since book number one. I'm now feeling confident as a writer where I could do that. However, I want this piece, each time I write, I want this story to be better than before, right? Why am I doing this if I'm staying at the same level? Anytime we do something, it's so that we can be better than. So I want the next story, especially if it's going to be a solo piece, to be very powerful, very impactful, very purposeful.
Mhm.
So it may not come out next year like I wanted to. It's going to take some time, but that's in the works. Additionally, I have been building and working on my personal brand, um, where I'm doing youth development and youth empowerment. So
Mhm.
building out more workshops and facilitations with Phoenix Center for Youth Development. I'm also expanding um, who I am within my job. So I work in people operations, but I've been hiding behind that title, bringing more of my authentic self into my job where I can provide what I know, what I've experienced into
Mhm.
programs, into development, into wherever it could be used.
Yeah.
Um, and Wednesdays I'm going 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be right here on the Hustler podcast. As a matter of fact, once this is over, you and Mel are going to get an email that we need to do our planning for May,
Okay.
because we got to do an episode in 4 days, 3 days.
I know that's right. Okay, so how can the people connect with you? Where can they reach you?
Okay, I am on Facebook as Tiffany R. Matthias, and on the other social media platforms I'm on, which are Instagram and TikTok. I'm one underscore True Phoenix on Instagram, and I am Phoenix Speaks on TikTok. And you can also reach me via email at tmathias.pcyd@gmail.com.
Thank you so much, Cuzzo. Thank you for 5 years of service, 5 years of pouring, 5 years of speaking life, 5 years of praying, 5 years of believing and supporting the vision. There are people here that I needed, but I literally could not have done this without you. There would be no diamonds if you did not say yes. I would have said, forget it. I don't have enough people. I don't have the right people. Um, People don't get to see you as much as they should because you're one of those people that lead from behind. You are a servant leader. You are always in the background. And for those of the gems and gents, the diamonds, whoever's on this live who does not know, in some of the toughest seasons of Tiffany's life, she was still here. She was still showing up. She was still encouraging. She was still mentoring. She was still coaching. She was still believing. She was still doing all of the things despite all that she was already carrying on her own. And that is the fortitude and the resilience that I believe makes a diamond. That's the pressure that creates diamonds. And so, dang, I knew you was gonna be the one to make me cry. Nobody else got me to cry, but
Listen, listen, no, let them flow, let them flow.
I am so grateful because this is not easy. It's not easy to believe that God chose you to do it. And then to call your big cousin and say, big cousin, God told me to do it, but I need your help to do it. And you were like, yes, I got you. Let's go. Let's do it. And you've been like that for 5 years. You have been consistent. You have not had a, well, when is it my turn to be out front attitude? You have never not shown up the way you did year one. You still show up that way in year 5. And I cannot tell you how much it means to me and all of the women here, all of us literally know what you mean to this community. And I am afraid to let you go do your own thing, but I had to grow up. And I will tell you, Jessica and Danielle can hold me accountable. I was like, I don't want her to go. But God kept telling me it's time for her to move on to her own thing. You got to let her go. But I just need you to know I could not have done the work if you were not here. And so thank you for 5 years of believing in your little cousin and allowing me to help all of these women that we've helped. So thank you.
It has been my honor and my pleasure to be here and serve. Um, and if you are the head and the brains of this, I am the neck and the backbone. I'm not going anywhere.
That part. Well, thank you, Cuzzo. Get back to baby girl. Send her my love and my birthday wishes. And thanks so much for giving us some of your evening. I'm gonna move on to our next interview. But Phoenix, we will see you Wednesday.
We see you Wednesday.
Love you, Cuzzo. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God. Look, I knew somebody was gonna make me cry. I literally didn't think it was gonna be Tiff because I gush over her all the time. Like this ain't nothing new. But listen, we have more diamond interviews for you. I am super excited to bring out our next guest. Y'all do not understand. This girl knew me back then. Honey, okay, when I had no identity, I didn't know who I was. I was out here just being, just reaching, just grabbing. And listen, this sister here taught me to love the word of God and to truly put God first, and that I didn't need to be a certain age to serve. I could be young and youthful and in love with the gospel. To this day, I am seeking her discipleship because I learned so much from her in the faith. And so when she agreed to come here and bring her gifts and her story and her talent and her prayer life and her love to this community, I was excited. And so I'm just as excited for you all to meet her. On social media, you have probably seen her as the Maverick Mama. I simply know her as Kiara and call her Kikukala. All right, come on out here, Mama. Wait, let me unmute you. Hold on. Let me get you unmuted. All right. Wait, it won't let me unmute you. There we go.
Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me
Yeah,
now? Hey,
How
yes,
are you?
I have known this young lady since we was knee high to a duck's tail. You hear what I'm saying to you? We was out these streets getting in a TROUBLE. All right, we're not gonna talk about it. Statute of limitations is up, and Jesus forgave us. The end.
Girl, talk about it. And you are here with a
glory to God.
powerful story.
Thank you.
You have got to introduce yourself, please, and tell everybody who you are and talk a little bit about your chapter.
Fantastic. My name is Kiara. Kikukala, only the her. Don't nobody else call me that. You understand me, huh? Okay. Kiki, to those who've known me longer than 15 years, glory to God. I am Maverick Mama on social media. I am a champion of resilient parenting and living for single mamas. I am a speaker, event host. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a homeschool mom. I'm an intercessor, huh? A writer. I am now a published author. Yeah. And a mom, a daughter, a sister, a friend, yo, cut up buddy. Listen, don't sit next to me in church.
No.
Don't put me in the group chat. Okay. You've been warned. I'm a makeup enthusiast. I'm a Bible nerd. I'm a lover of God. I'm a lover of family, all of the things. And I came today dressed up like I'm twinning with my baby. See, look. Don't we look alike? Look, we look alike, right?
Yeah.
Don't we look alike?
Yes.
Don't we look alike? Okay. I was trying to twin with my boo. This is my newest baby, huh? Because babies in the natural are finished. Let's be clear. But my newest baby, I first cut in the computer and we twinning today.
She look good. Y'all look good.
She look just like me, don't she? All right, praise God.
You got to tell them about your chapter.
All right. So my name of my chapter is called The Audacity of the Comeback Kid, and it is bouncing back from personal and private failure. So the reason I wrote this chapter is because your girl, if I could identify with anybody in the Bible, it would be Peter. Peter made several mistakes, but he always came back. His biggest mistake was, of course, denying Jesus. And Jesus saw his mistake, but didn't hold him hostage to his mistake. He restored him. And then Peter forgave himself and stepped into who he was supposed to be. And then we got a lot of the New Testament as a result of that. And so that's I have made several mistakes. Baby, the way I done slipped, tripped, dipped, and fell off a cliff several times in my life. And God has been faithful to forgive and restore, huh? Amen, lights and walls. And so that's what my chapter is about. Coming back from personal and private failure. I think a lot of times we don't forgive ourselves when we fail, when we make mistakes. Like even if we're the villain, like Tip was talking about, like Phoenix was talking about, even when we're the villain of someone else's story and we ask for forgiveness, forgiving ourselves for doing those things and allowing God to restore us. And so this is me. My chapter is about not only forgiving yourself, but coming back, like bouncing back and bouncing back hard. I believe in failing forward. And so even if I'm failing in the direction of progression, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to fail and fall to the side or fail and fall. Even when I fell off the cliff, I was falling off the cliff to the north. You understand? And so I wasn't falling to the west or to the east. I was falling and failing forward. And so that's what I believe, that you can fail even if you fail, you got to fail forward.
Yes. Come on, somebody. Okay, so listen, I try to share feedback from the beta readers during our process, but then I try to hold some of it for times like now.
Yes.
So one of our beta readers read your chapter and she said, Natima, you didn't tell me y'all had a collegiate professor in the book.
I use all my SAT words, huh? All of them.
Wait a minute, what chapter you talking about? And she said the audacity of the comeback kid. I said, oh, but she's been talking like that since we were 16 years old. And the reason I wanted to share that is because oftentimes people will make assumptions about us, or they'll have a view of us or an opinion of us that'll make us shrink and feel like, well, maybe I should do a little less. You have always been articulate. And you know what I'm saying? And so I love that you show up in every space as yourself, even in your writing. And that is what I took away from that feedback. And I said, I'm gonna tell her that, because she was so impressed. Like, does she teach like college students? I was like, she's talked like that since we were 16 years old. So I had to share that with you. But what inspired you to write this piece and share this story with our readers?
I think what inspired me, one, was when you asked me. You said, hey, can you write something? And I said, I think this is just such an amazing conglomerate of women with so many stories in different walks of life. I think for me, what inspired me to write this story was, one, I didn't realize how much I didn't tell my story until I started telling my story. Like, Because when we're living in real time. So we may be ingesting the experiences and processing and maybe talking about them with friends or in the group chat or whatever the case may be. But you don't recognize the power of your story until you see it on paper, right? Until you see it in black and white. And so when you asked me, I was like, oh, sure, I'll tell my story. And then I thought, well, what can I talk about? And I was like, oh, well, I am again on the journey back up the mountain as the comeback kid, coming back from failure again, right? And so, or coming back from an area where I failed, even though I failed forward, it was still a modicum of failure. And so I think for me, what inspired me was there's so many women who fail or who make mistakes or who stumble, and then they're like, they are too ashamed to say that they made the mistake, or they don't come back from the mistake. But there are so many younger women who need to see an older girl in her 40s slipping, tripping, and falling off the cliff. Baby, the cliff slipping don't stop because you hit over 40. Menopause don't stop you from sliding off the cliff. You are going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes well into your 40s, 50s, and 60s. The beauty is if you learn from the lesson, if you learn from making the mistake, if you learn from the failure, then it wasn't authentic. It wasn't truly a full-fledged failure. There was no losses. You took no real losses, or not great losses. And so I just wanted to be an encouragement to women in my age bracket, because I'm over 40 now. I want to be an encouragement to women younger than me about what it looks like to fail and what it looks like to come back from failure, and to be kind to yourself as you're coming back from failure, to be kind with the words you use with yourself, to be kind with the way you talk about yourself. That self-talk is what usually stops you from keep pushing for, to press forward. And so that negative self-speak, like, I did this or I did that. Yeah, you did it. Okay. You might have robbed the bank. You might have hit your baby daddy in the head with a bottle. You might have ran over a few people. Okay. Did you do your time? Did Jesus forgive you? Did you pay your debt to society?
Okay.
Put some lipstick on and keep it pushing. Okay, that man gonna heal. You done paid them dues. You done paid them fines. They done garnished your check for the stuff that you destroyed.
Come on.
Okay, let's go. Let's bounce back.
Come on. You encouraging my heart, okay? Because I need to forgive myself for some of the things that I have done. Lord, help me out. So, as you mentioned, I had approached you before. This time you came back with a swift yes. You were like, yes, I will contribute. What was it like for you transitioning from watching the work to now being in the midst of where the work was happening as a Diamond Writer? What was that like for you?
So my first experience with the Diamond Writers was at y'all's last book release event. I believe it was for She Is.
Yes.
And so I was the event host. Now, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I'm going to be me and I'm going to cut up, right? And so they invited me because they knew I was going to cut up at this event. And so I showed up, when I stepped into the place, it was probably, so transparent moment, it was probably the first time the team and I had been in this close proximity in about a decade.
Yes.
We had like this, Satan basically tried to capsize our friendship. And so 10 years later, I showed up in the spot being like, okay, Jesus, if she poked me in the eye, I'm going to just host this event with one eye. And so when I got there and I saw the excellence that was taking place, and you walked up to me, I was like, all right, girl, brace yourself for one eye. Which eye she going for? And you ain't going for none of them. I said, Jesus, you are a healer. You are a redeemer. Glory to your name, Father. And so it was just so excellent. And watching, I got to be a part of this kind of event in person. I was watching the way you executed with the hosting and watching the other writers and just how everything was so excellent, right? Excellent and so but honest. It was, sometimes we sacrifice excellence on the altar of honesty and realness and rawness. You can be real, raw, and precise. And so I love the way all that went together. And when I'm listening to the women's stories and listening to how they shared, and I even brought a couple of friends with me, and they were like, I love this. This is so amazing. And it was just beautiful to see a community of healthy women. And so I thought, when you asked me, I was like, yes, I want to sit at the cool kids table. Why wouldn't I want to sit at the cool kids table? What are you talking about? What are you talking about here?
Oh Oh my gosh, I love it. No, but I'm so glad that you said yes and you came, because your energy and your life that you bring to this, we get this on every call, y'all. So can you imagine trying to do business and conduct business, and this is the energy in the room? It was fun all the time, just fun. And I'm so grateful that you said yes. So what are you hoping? I know you mentioned earlier that you want women of our age group, you want women that are younger than us that can forgive themselves from mistakes and know that they can come back from them. But is there anything else you would like readers to take away from your story?
The audacity to be both and, not either or.
Mm.
To be
Break
both
that down,
and.
please.
You don't have to be one thing or another thing. When we get to the portion when the team start asking me what I'm doing, and I run down like 7,500 things, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. But the audacity to be both and, that no human being, if you're a person created in the image and likeness of God, then you are not a monolith. You are not a one-dimensional, one-trick pony. You are a multifaceted, multi-dimensional, multi-creative being, and God, he hardwired every single one of us that way. You don't have one thing. You might have one thing that you are excellent at, but there are several things brewing on the inside. And so be both and. You can be hood and love Jesus. You can be a nerd and from the projects. Hello, somebody. Because the way I like me some barbecue sunflower seeds and rose petal preserves and a glass of Prosecco with a couple of now ladies, you can be both and. You don't have to choose. You do not have to choose. And I know it's funny, but this is, I know I promise y'all this is how I act all the time. But this, I want you to be both and. You don't have to push yourself or box yourself into one lane. I've always been audacious. I've always been not one thing. Even in the way that I showed up in my fashion and my style of dress. I remember once I came to church, I had on a leather fedora and a dashiki and a pencil pant with a stiletto. And they were like, you know, you're the only one who can do that, right? And I was like, and can. Like, I don't know what I'm going to be all of the things all of the time.
Always.
I don't know how to not be all of the things.
Amen. Oh my gosh, I love it. And listen, I can testify, she ain't lying, y'all. She ain't lying. She will always show up as herself. So listen, as you mentioned, I would love for you to share with all of us what is next for you, what is going on.
Child, listen. So first so of course I'm going to be with the Audacity with the Diamond Riders for the next anthology for as long as they'll have me. Let's see what else I'm doing. I have a Maverick Mama newsletter that goes out every Wednesday. If you go to my Instagram, you can subscribe to that newsletter. I have a digital store where I'm a homeschool mom. I'm a champion of healthy relationships of all kinds. I'm a champion of financial organization. I can be a little bit anal, like my checklists have checklists. And so I believe in putting things together. So I have a whole digital product store with everything from questions you can ask if you're engaged or dating or married, questions you can ask your children, conversation starters. And so I have a whole digital library there. I do press-on nails now because that's always something I've wanted to do, and I didn't do it for a while. So I make press-on. So if you can follow my press-on line at _purely pressed with an underscore on the end on Instagram. You can follow me at Maverick Mama everywhere. Maverick _Mama on every platform you could possibly think of: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Lemonade. Carrier pigeon, find it, it's there. What else? So the newsletter, my digital shop, my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group for moms called Maverick Mama Facebook group, and that's where we talk about all the things. It's a safe space to be all of the things. So because some days you love these kids and some days you want to put them in a box with holes in it and mail them back to Jesus. And you can say that in this group without people being like, well, you shouldn't have had all the babies in the first place. You should be minding your business.
That part.
Because I said what I said. And so, and then of course, the Maverick Mama podcast, which has been on hiatus for quite some time, I'll be relaunching in Q3 of this year. And so if you go on any place where podcasts are streamed right now, you'll see episodes from like 2022. And there's like 4 of them up there. at the Q3, Q3 of 2025, you will get more of the podcast. And again, just championing resilient living. We'll talk about everything from how to understand cryptocurrency, how to make meals in 30 minutes or less, what it looks like to date as a single mama, how to tell when you got a narc in your midst, how to identify signs of abuse in kids. All of the things. So
yes.
And I
like
wrote Bible studies too.
No, I was literally about to say, I like how she did not mention the Bible studies because I bought some. God, please share.
Okay, so I am a Bible nerd. I've been a believer since forever. What is it? 98? A long time, child, a very long time. My whole adult life, I've been a Christian. And so I, of course, being a Bible student, sometimes when you get older or you get more mature in the faith, if you're not careful, the scriptures or the Bible can become a bit boring for you. And I know you're saying boring, but because sometimes a lot of these folks who be preaching sermons you heard 15 years ago from another preacher, and you're like, Freddie Haynes said that 15 years ago. I heard this before. And so for the Bible nerd girlies who want a little bit a little bit extra, who want to go at the accelerated pace, at the collegiate professor pace, I've written 6 separate Bible studies, and they're self-paced Bible studies. So I'm not telling you what it's saying. I'm telling you, look in the scriptures and find out the true meaning, true exegesis of the text, honest exegeting the text. And so each Bible study consists of at least 50 questions you have to answer. Everything from the history of the text to the author of the text to the composition. What kind is it? Poetry? What's the literary composition? All of those things. And so I've written about 7. There's 7 of them in my digital store on Instagram. So when you go to Instagram at Maverick_Mama and you click on my profile and you see all them links, you're going to see the Maverick Mama digital shop. Click on it and you'll see all of the things. And I give away freebies. Right now, there's a freebie up there, a free ebook that teaches you how to use things in your kitchen to keep your skin together, right? Because a lot of times they be putting chemicals in our stuff. So I teach you how to make body butters out of unsalted butter and a little scented oil and a little, because that's what your body butters are made of. Y'all do know that they use butter in y'all body butters, right? And so how to make skin scrubs out of oatmeal and honey, like all of the natural products. So stuff you can literally go in your kitchen cabinet, whip something up and clean your face up. And I've actually done it on people before. I had a friend, actually my ex-husband, before he went into the army, he had a whole host of ingrowns. And I made him a mask with a whipped up egg because they wasn't going to let him in because of all the ingrowns. They thought it was like a disease. You know how the government be. Anyway, and so I made him a whole mask and cleared his skin up in about a week's time. And to this day, that man is like a lieutenant or something in the army, but he wouldn't have got in if I hadn't gotten his face together. Amen, somebody.
Oh, listen, I am so glad that you were able to stick around backstage and hold on so that I can speak with you today. I am truly grateful that you're here. Like you shared or you alluded to earlier in the call, calling on you to be here was an opportunity for me to heal parts of my past. And so I cannot stress how much it meant to me that I got a yes from you so that I could position myself to do what God wanted of me. So thank you for your chapter contribution. Thank you for the energy you pour here and the things that you bring. Make sure, Kiara, that you drop your contact info in the chat, in the comments, so that people can follow y'all. I'm telling y'all, I have a few of her Bible studies. Honey, getting me together in the word, getting me together. It's a deep dive. It's truly for people who want to learn more of God, not just the surface, easy, superficial stuff, but who truly want to seek God. Get the Bible studies, get the press-ons. I'm going to order my Audacity ones. Hot pink, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kiara, thank you so much. Thank you. I cannot wait to connect again. I hope you have an amazing rest of the night. Thank you for being here. Mwah.
It's been an honor. Bye, guys.
All right, bye, Key. All right, y'all. So listen, we have more coming for you. We got a couple more. I want to thank my diamonds who have been patiently waiting backstage. Of course, we are running behind. This happened earlier. I expected it again, but I'm so grateful that you all stuck around. I have another new writer, another one of our newer diamonds who joined us last year when we began writing Audacity. And quickly, she has grown into leadership ranks and she has quickly moved into a space of service. And we are super, super glad She has an extremely powerful story. It is a raw, real, no cut card. She was not making it cute or sweet or precious for y'all. She gave it to y'all the way she lived it. And I thank God for the audacity of her testimony. So listen, I want to introduce y'all to, and here's the thing I want to share real quick. During the writing process, she changed her name. Okay. And I'm going to let her explain to y'all why she changed her name. But let me go ahead and bring out Be His Child. Hello, Mama Bernadette. How are you?
Hello.
Good evening.
It's here. It's here. Oh, it's here. And listen, my sip and shine glass is here. I'm diamond writers down. Diamond writers everywhere.
I see you. I see it and I love it. You got on your Audacity earrings. I see them. Okay. And does. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for hanging out backstage. I was like, I said she's been back there a minute. I hope she don't leave. Please let her stay. I want the people to hear from her.
No.
Okay, so look, I need you before I jump all in your chapter because I'm excited about your chapter. Please introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, so my name is Bernadette Starkey, but I am now Be His Child. Yes. I don't even know where to go. Want me to go to the name or?
Yes, first, please tell everybody about the name. Yes.
Okay, so back when, which kind of leads into the chapter, but back like when I rededicated my life to the Lord, my very first email is His Child, the number 7 forever. Mm-hmm. So that's me on Instagram, my very first email. And so I've always used it, His Child, the number 7 forever. And when it came down to picking a pen name, like for the longest, I did not have one. Right? I was like, I don't know. I just didn't want to grab anything to just have one. And then when it came closer to the ending of the book, the Lord reveals to me, you've already been, you know what it is. You're His child. Yep. And so then I was like, His child. And I was like, I kept moving it around. His child what? His child what? And then talking with you, he was like, wait a minute, you already got the B. And I'm like, the B, like God, you was already showing me the outfit. So it's Be His Child. And that's who I am. So introducing myself, I am God's child. Don't get me, I get emotional when I even think about that I'm His child. I'm His child. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a grandmother. I am a great grandma. I'm a published author. Like, yes, I am a published author.
Come on, somebody.
I'm so excited. I'm trying to contain myself. It's in the book, y'all. It's in the book. It's writing in the book. It's in the book. Yes. I am a woman of God. I'm a minister in my church. I am now a therapeutic recreational aide in a nursing home, which is a big part of what my life is about right now. I am a kingdom servant. I love serving. There's a lot of things I am. So a little bit about the chapter.
Please,
I don't want to give a lot of it away because I want people to read it in its entirety. Yeah. But the chapter is called The Audacity to be Born Again to Win. And that name is powerful because just when He gave me His Child 7 forever, He also gave me the Born Again to Win. Right? So many times in our life we go through things, and when you read the story, you'll see, and we see ourselves in a different light. We become who it is that God planned for us to be, by decisions that we make. And so when I decided to rededicate my life, I was born again, and to be a winner, a winner. So that's what my chapter is about. It's about my life challenges that I had. It spans over a great deal of my life because of the subject matter that took up a great deal of my life.
Yeah.
And it's real, and it's my life story, and my
Yeah.
family and everybody know when they read it, they're like, I remember that. I was there then. I know this. And so that's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
knowing that we'll get to that. But that's a
Yeah.
little bit about my chapter.
It's amazing. I loved reading and diving into your chapter. And I know we spent some time on it together. And I thought what was so powerful is just how raw you were. You weren't trying to, you like, no, we're going to say it like this because this is how I lived it. We're going to write it like this because this is how I experienced it. And I appreciated that because oftentimes, and Kiara just alluded to this, Maverick Mama just said it, that sometimes we sacrifice the truth to make it clean and make it digestible. We want people to receive it, and so we omit some parts of it that are not as pretty or not as cleaned up. And I love that you gave your true story from the beginning till now, because there are so many people who are going to read it and be like, oh my gosh, and God will still love me, God will still want me, God will forgive me
Yes.
and heal me and restore me. And there
Yes.
is no residue. Because I have to be honest, when I met you and you shared the story, and then I read it and I was like, ain't no way that's the same person. There is no, there's
I get
no
that.
way.
Tima, I get that all the time. That I have to show them a picture. See, this is me. This is me then. Like I keep a picture of me in my phone because it reminds me from whence God have brought me,
Come
and
on.
there before the grace of God go me again. And to let people know I'm not making this stuff up. The truth of the matter is, when I get to witness to people who's lived that and dealing with it now,
Yeah.
they don't believe me. But when I speak the language of things that you only know from living that life,
Yeah.
they understand. She there's no way she can know this. There's no way that she can know this is what you call these things unless she was there and she know it. And so that's all I got.
Mm.
That's who I am. I'm me, and I'm gonna always be me, and I'm gonna tell the truth and tell it like it is,
Come
because
on.
that's all it is. That's all I got.
That's it. That's it. But the amazing thing is that God has the power to redeem who
Yes.
we were and repurpose it. And that's what he did in your story, because it is amazing. So, when you were asked to join the Diamond Writers and you were asked to share your story, your transparent story, because that's a requirement. You got to be telling the truth to these
Hmm.
people. What was that like for you? How did, transitioning into this space like impact your healing journey?
Well, Shell Mack, who spoke first so powerfully. I love her with my heart. That's my sister. All of you have become sisters. We are Diamond Writers, we're sisters.
Yeah.
Shell Mack has been telling me for the longest that I need to come join the Diamond Writers. And for whatever reason, I don't know what might have been going on, I wasn't able to submit during the open season. And then so last year when she told me, I'm going to remind you, and I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to actually do it. It's time. People have been for years telling me, you got books in you. You got books in you. You need to get this out. You need, this is a book. This is a book. And so I've always wanted to actually do a book, and to write. And so when the opportunity came to join Diamond Writers, which has been phenomenal in my life, with even journaling and writing down, because I'm not a person who journals all the time every day. And I also had this mindset of what journaling actually was. And so it wasn't until I joined the Diamond Writers that I found out all the myths that I thought journaling was and that you had to do to journal. I found that is not so. And so now it's easier for me to be able to put pen to paper, because I know I don't have to do it that way. That
Yeah.
the way that I thought it was. I had the wrong perception about what it actually is. So being able to put pen to paper, because even people, when they kept telling me to write, they was like, so just write 15 minutes a day. I was having trouble with putting pen to paper. And every time someone asks me, I've had other authors ask me, have you started writing yet? I've even had someone tell my husband, I have an assignment for you. Make sure she start writing. Make sure she start putting something on some paper. And so it wasn't until joining Diamond Writers that I was able to put pen to paper and to actually get my story out there. And I still know there's more in there because God ain't finished yet.
Come
He ain't
on.
finished yet. And I
Come
didn't tell it
on.
all. And I thought I did, but I'm realizing I didn't tell it all.
Nope.
There's much more healing for people. So what Diamond Writers has done for me is to give me the ability to learn how to put pen to paper and to not be scared to put pen to paper. It's funny because I used to say I can't write my story until my parents pass away. I used to always say, like, because the story would kill them. If my mom and my dad knew everything that I went through, it would kill them. And I always said, I gotta wait till they're not here. And strangely enough, and oddly enough, I wish they were here.
Yeah.
I wish they both was here to see the transformation themselves. Get your life together. To see the transformation themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to actually read now what I was actually going through it all.
Yeah.
And how I came out on the other side through the grace of God.
Come on, to God be the glory. That's right. That's right, man. But it is still legacy in the pages. There is still so much of you that you left on the pages that others will be able to pull from and grow from and heal from and learn from. And so just know that your story is going to reach. It is definitely going to reach. So what do you hope readers take away from your chapter?
The Bible tells us that in Romans 8:28, I believe, that all things work together for the good of those that love God and is called according to his purpose. In that same chapter, it says that through all these things, we are more than conquerors. And then 2 Corinthians 5:17 lets us know that if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature.
New creature. Come on.
The old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become new. That's what I want the readers to get out of this chapter. Whatever you've been through, whatever you've done, it has not been for nothing. Nothing wasted. God can use it all to help others. God can use you to help others. And all things, once you get to a place to decide, it's just a decision. You have to make a decision. I don't want to live that life no more. I don't want that to be my story, my end story. I don't want that to be the end for me. And so then you make a decision, and God is able to change your life. He is able to take your life and blow your mind.
Yeah.
Just give him a chance.
That's it.
And all things will work together. Everything you've been through. I look back and I see where seeds were sown, and everywhere in my life, God was there.
Yeah.
He's bringing things back to my remembrance, even as I put pen to paper now, where I'm not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be locked up in jail. I was supposed to be dead. But through the grace of God, he's never left me. He's never forsaken me. And through it all, he was there. One of my favorite poems is the Footprints poem, where the person in the story is saying, I see these two footprints, and then through my roughest times, I only see one set of footprints. And God lets him know, because those were the times that I carried you.
Carries you.
So I want the readers to know as they read my chapter, you're not alone. Whatever you're going through, wherever you find yourself, you're not alone. God is always there.
That's
and
right.
he's waiting for you to decide to say, help me. I need you in my life, because the plan that he has for you is better than any plan you can come up with.
Come on. Come on. Come on, testimony. I'm about to run around this office in here. So tell the people quickly what is next for you.
What's next for me? What's next for me is I would love to still write my own book. I'm excited about the next anthology because I'm a diamond writer to the end. And so serving in that capacity of being a diamond writer, and all that I can help with doing. I'm planning and thinking about a diamond heist. So I'm thinking about who's the guest gonna be. Doing some workshops as well. I was even thinking about and praying about, Lord, what can I do to help those people who have or still dealing with addiction, or in the process of coming out from being having addiction issues. That's what my chapter is about. I don't say that I am a recovering addict, because I am not. I am delivered through the blood of Jesus and what he's done. And so I would like to put together, I'm not going to say so much a nonprofit right now, but at least a plan where I can help people to understand the battlefield is in the mind. The Holy Spirit is there to help renew your mind, where you're thinking different about everything, every area of your life. You're thinking different about it. Because as long as you keep saying to yourself, I'm a recovering addict. Oh, I'm an addict. I'm an addict. I'm an addict. I am not an addict. It's been over 20 something years. I am not. I have been delivered. And God, he does things whole. He does things right. And so I want people to get to a place to understand it's in the mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. The world is going to tell you that you can that's your life forever. And I just want you to know that God is able to change your life forever. Forever. There is no next one. There is no going back. But it's only through Jesus Christ that you can do that.
Come on.
It's only through Jesus Christ that you can do that. And I am the evidence that it's through Jesus Christ that you can do that.
Amen. Listen, I have enjoyed this conversation. I have taken some for myself. I so appreciate you. Thank you again for your patience and us being behind schedule, but you stuck backstage and you allowed us to get through the interviews before yours. And I'm so grateful that you did. Please, before I let you go, tell the people how they can connect with you.
Well, they can connect with me. I'm on Facebook as Bernadette Starkey. Yes, on Facebook. And I'm on Instagram as his child, the number 7, the number 4, ever.
Yes.
EVER.
Forever.
His child, 7, forever. On Instagram.
Forever. I love it so much. Thank you so much, Bernadette.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful. It's been a pleasure to serve you and to help you. It's truly been my heart's joy to help you bring this story to life. I love the time that you called on me and asked for my help specifically with certain parts, and it was a joy. It was truly my joy to serve you in that way. Stick around. We have a couple of more of your Diamond Sisters to interview.
Yes.
But thank you again for being here with us. And I'll see you again on Tuesday during our prayer call. All right.
Thank you so much. This has been great. I've enjoyed everybody. Everybody has been great. Even when I was at work, I'm like sneaking in and watching it. I'm like, it's been great. I've been loving every single person's interview. And thank you so much. You've been doing a great job. Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you soon. Yes, y'all get this book. All right, we got just a few more with us. I appreciate their patience. But before I bring out one of the last 2 hours to interview, please make sure that you are sharing this live and then commenting that you've shared it, because we have another Audacity gift box to give away. We are excited to offer it to you and to celebrate you being here with us. This is a really big deal to us. I also want to insert this shameless plug. Let me get rid of her banner. That we have our live events coming up this fall. We would absolutely love for you to come and celebrate with us in person. If you've already purchased the book, you can bring it with you, and our contributing authors to Audacity will autograph it for you. If you haven't yet bought it and you decide to wait till the event, we will have copies there for you. We would absolutely love for you to come and celebrate with us in person. We want to honor some women among us in our community and in ministry who are serving, and they do it without recognition. They're not getting their flowers. We want to celebrate them. And so this will be our opportunity to invite you to not just celebrate those serving among us, but we also want to celebrate together the release of this amazing publication, Audacity. You definitely don't want to miss the event this fall. More details to come. Visit diamondwriters.com, transparentgeminc.com, where you can get more information about the event and how you can be in the building. All right, so I have two more diamonds. I was hoping three. I didn't know if she was going to be able to make it or not, as she is currently on a boat. But if she does come, we will have three more for you. I would absolutely love a few minutes with her. But for right now, we are going to bring out Ivory. I believe she's here. Let me double check backstage. Bear with me. I think I saw her join the green room. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll move on to the next one and we'll come back to her if she's still here when we're done. But the next diamond that I'm going to bring out. Oh, nope, she's here. All right, so I'm going to bring out Ivory. You all get to meet her. She is a first-time diamond. This is her very first time contributing to a Diamond Writer anthology. I believe that you are going to love her story, and I will let her come out and share a little bit more with you. So thank you, Ivory, for hanging out backstage. Welcome to the platform. How are you?
I'm good. How are you,
Good.
Natima?
I'm good. Good to see you. Thanks for sticking around. So sorry you were waiting for so long. How you doing today? Come on, big old Audacity poster in the background.
Okay.
Let's go. I love it. I absolutely love it. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Watching
Yes.
Diamond Sisters was really good.
Yes, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're with us. And sorry again that you had to wait, but I'm glad you're here now. Please introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Ivory Ellison. My pen name is Chaotic Calm. I am a daughter, a mother, a sister, a friend. I am a community leader, a family advocate, a poet, and right now I'm a published author.
Yes. She's talking about this,
Oh,
y'all.
here we go.
Yes, she's talking about this. So tell us a little bit about your chapter. Tell us about permission to be audacious.
Yes, so the title of my book, of my chapter, is Permission to be Audacious. So the main part of my story was trying to activate my voice, right? The fact that from childhood to relationships to dealing with promotions at jobs and even grieving my mom's passing, it's just every aspect of my voice not being activated and me being silent. I chose the word permission because I realize, and I want others to realize, that you give yourself the permission to not be silent
Come on.
and to give yourself a voice.
Come on. Yes, you better talk about that. You better talk about that. You are the permission slip to speak. You are the
Yes.
authority in your life to speak. So, I remember when you first came to the Diamond Riders, you are such a gentle spirited person. You are a meek and humble person, but I knew you had a voice. I said, she quiet, but there is something
Right.
on the inside of her that when it's time, she will get it out. What was it like for you discovering your voice in the process of writing your chapter?
Well, it was it was very it was awesome because I think I know that the Diamond Riders, you ladies, gave me the platform for me to extend myself.
Hmm.
Um, Also, dealing, like I said, with the grieving over my mom. It's been 3 years, and I think knowing that she would want me to speak up more, and she always used to say that, I think that now, like me being stronger and more confident in my voice
Mhm.
is what is going to help others.
Yes, definitely. Oh my gosh, I love that. And like I said, just being able to watch you share more and open up more and leading our prayer calls and all the things
Yeah.
that you're doing, it's the evidence that this space will help you become when you're ready. And so I love that. Um, what do you hope that other readers take away from your chapter in addition to what you just shared? What are some other things that you hope they take away from it?
Well, there are a few things in the book. I'm not going to spoil it, but there are a few things. I have some different things that you can do
Mhm.
as a reader. Some poetry, just some self discovery and self love tips that can
Mhm.
help the readers become or give them the permission to speak up and to
Mhm.
give them their own platform so that they know that they can set boundaries and not always have to say yes. And when they say no, they don't feel guilty.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And no with a period. It's a complete
Right.
sentence.
That's it.
I would love for you. I know this wasn't one of the questions I sent you ahead of time, but I would love for you, if you didn't mind, sharing with us what your pen name means to you. What led you to call yourself Chaotic Calm?
Oh, well, that's a good question. So actually, my pen name, a few years ago, I was writing a poetry book
Mhm.
with one of my old coworkers, and my sister LaShawn said that chaotic calm would be is kind of how I am. Sometimes I'm very calm, but in
Mhm.
spaces and when it's time, I can definitely be chaotic in a good way, But it's just, and then changing it with a K so that it'll be different,
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
definitely just being that balance of being able to be strong and be able to be calm, like a quiet storm, kind of.
Yes, come on, somebody. I love that. And what's next for you? What is ahead of you now that you are a published author?
I know. So next, I'm working on my poetry collections.
Mhm.
So it's called Embracing Life with Love and Convictions. Um, our Diamond Sister Tiara is helping me with that.
Yeah.
And then I'm also in June. There'll be a gallery display of one of my poems that I submitted to the Work Well competition. So it'll be in Manhattan, and it'll be a display of my work for others to see.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Congratulations. Y'all drop some applause and some hearts and some flowers in the comments. That is absolutely amazing. Now,
I
how
wanted
can
to
our
say
go ahead?
wanted to say one thing
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
Natima, the Diamond Writers have helped me also to expand. I've always just did poetry. I've
Mhm.
always had myself as just a poet, but you ladies have helped me to expand my writing. I would never think I would write a whole chapter. So I want to
And
thank you for that.
you're so welcome. Well, you've wrote more than one chapter because you have another book coming out with the
Yes,
Diamond
yes,
Riders. Yes, yes. So
yes.
you expanded and wrote two
That's right.
chapters, and we are so proud of you. And of course, we'll be right back on this platform in a couple of months to talk a little bit more about that second project that we have coming out. But how
Yes.
can our Gems and Gents connect with you?
Okay, so on Facebook, I am Ivory Ellison. On Instagram, I'm Ivory Ellison _88.
Mhm.
And you can also reach me with the Diamond Writers.
Yes, you better know it. She's a diamond writer. We're working on a new project and she is a part of it. So listen, y'all make sure that you grab your copy
Yes.
of Audacity, available on multiple platforms. You can reach out to Ivory directly on her socials and purchase it directly from her, or you can just go ahead and get it on Amazon, diamondwriters.com, or transparentgeminc.com. Ivory, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
an amazing example of what this space can do to help empower women in their stories. Thank you for the
Thank you.
transformation that you allowed all of us to support you in. I am so grateful for what you have contributed here and what you were able to receive in this space. So thank you so,
Thank
so
you
much.
too.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, I'll see you. Of course, I'll see you on Tuesday. Like I've been telling
Yes,
everybody else, we got the prayer call
the prayer
Tuesday.
calls.
I'll
Yeah.
see you
All
again.
right. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Ivory. All right. So we have just two more. I'm so glad that she was able to join. And there was one other that we missed. I thought I saw her backstage, but I guess she had to drop. But that's all right. If she joins back, y'all can stick around with us a little bit longer, as I would love to allow these women to share with you. All right. So without further ado, she's been waiting long enough. I'm going to bring out one of our legacy diamonds. She has been here for a while, writing with us and leading and serving with us. Come on out, Miss Lena E. Welcome.
Good night, good night, good
Welcome,
night. Good night, good
welcome.
night. Oh, good night. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I hear you
All
loud and
right, all right.
clear.
I've been waiting and waiting and waiting
Uh,
since 2 o'clock. Okay. But good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night.
How are you?
Blessed and highly favored as
Come on,
usual.
somebody. I know it. I know that's right. Yes. I'm so glad that you stuck around, though. And I am sorry that you were waiting so long, but I'm glad you decided to stay so that we
Cool.
got to chat. All right. So listen, I've already said your name. I know that we know you, the diamonds know you, but there are some gems and gents who are not familiar with Lena E. So please reintroduce yourself and tell them a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, well, my name is Lena E., also known as Marlene. I was born in Jamaica, the island, not Jamaica, Queens. I was raised in New York, in the Bronx, all day, every day. But as an adult, I moved to sunny Florida because that snow was kicking my butt. Um, as a part of Diamond Riders community, I am a TGI leader. I am over the Southeast Diamonds. I'm also over I Shine. I also co-partner with Michelle with the Empowered Prayer Call. And the
Mhm.
list can keep going.
Okay. And really good.
Let's see. This is my third book, I believe. Valent Transparency, She Is, and now Audacity. So my chapter is the audacity to shine after the storm. I'm gonna
Mhm.
pause there for a minute
Please.
because when God told me to write this chapter, I was like, I thought I had left it all on the table with valid transparency. He was like, no, I need you to put this on paper. Without giving away too much, my chapter deals with, you're being a child of God, you're doing everything He says, you're giving Him your yes, you're
Mhm.
showing up, you're in relationship with Him, you're doing your purpose in the community because I have a nonprofit, and then boom, tragedy happens. And
Yeah.
what do you do? Because you're the one that everyone called to pray. You're the one that's praising God for His answered prayers, and then your prayers don't get answered.
Mhm.
So how is it that you maintain yourself? How do you maintain your yes? Because it's in that moment in the darkness when the devil be like, okay, prayer warrior, okay, you like to break
Mhm.
down the walls. I'm gonna put my foot on your neck and I'm gonna see what you're gonna do.
Come
But what
on.
he didn't know was that Lena E is God all the way through. So my chapter basically is like a little a blueprint on how to still give God your yes when the
Mhm.
light has stuck out, like literally your breath is gone. Like, are you really gonna still get up and pray? Are you really gonna still put on your work? Are you still gonna show up? Because I was in the middle of doing my nonprofit, going to classes, building relationship, and God was opening doors, but I was still like, wait a minute, you took a lot from me. Can I sit down in the corner and cry for a little bit? And he was like, no, I need you to show up. Matter of fact, take your grief with you. Let's keep it rolling. So that's what my chapter is about. It's about, because there's no book on how to really, when God tests you
Yeah.
to the core, because my test was to the core. But my fans who've been following Lena E, it's gonna blow your socks off. How do you still say yes? How do you still stand in that
Yeah.
storm and be like, you know what? I belong to him all day, every day.
Come on. Come on. And it's all up in her chapter in here. Okay. It's all in here. You want to get it. So as you mentioned, you joined us 3 books ago. The first year I left you alone. I let you just be. I didn't ask for much. But by the second time, I was like, okay, is she gonna lead some stuff? And you just jumped right in. What was that transition like for you going from book to book in terms of your healing and your personal growth story? What has that transition been like for you?
It's been it's been a serious transition for me because I came in rough and rugged. I was probably the roughest diamond. I was like, just put me in the back. I don't want to talk. Just let me think I'm writing. But through the books, I've exposed myself. Like I've always was like Marlene was a definition of no man is an island. Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. Nobody can hurt me. Nobody can penetrate me. I was a glass wall. You did not know who I was. But writing these books, I have begun to peel back and just let myself come through. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm just me. Either you're
Yeah.
going to accept who you see, and if you don't, kick rocks,
Right.
So just I've discovered me,
Yeah.
who I am.
Yeah.
There was so many labels put on me as a child, but writing each book, I unlock Marlene and who I am and who God wants me to be. That's what happened to me
Mm.
with writing from Valid Transparency to She Is, where she is. I just let go everything, and then Audacity was like, okay, now put your swag on your shoulder. Let's go. Let's get it going because they don't know.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love what you just said. Like, you allowed yourself to be you. Like, I don't think we realize how much we get in the way of being ourselves. Like, whether it's labels from others, where we agreed with what the enemy say about us, we deny what the Lord says, whatever it is. Sometimes we have to give ourselves the permission to be us. And I love that you mentioned that. Um, so what do you hope that readers take away from your chapter? What is it that you hope resonates with them most?
The biggest thing, trust the process that God has for you. He is he's writing, he's already written our story. So all we have
Mhm.
to do is walk it out and still hold on to his everlasting, ever-changing hand. That's it.
Mhm.
Don't let go. You can't do it by yourself. You don't know better. He knows it all and he's already written
Mhm.
it. So it's just for you to walk it out.
Yes, yes. Now walk it out. I don't know why I want to sing that. I don't know why I want now walk it out.
So don't get me started, trying to keep her in a box, trying to keep her civilized, trying to keep Lena E
Oh
composed.
my goodness. Listen. Okay, so what can our gems and gents expect from you next? Like, you have a lot that God has called you to. Can you please share with us, like, what is all the things that you're doing and how can they be in touch with you?
Well, one of the thing is my nonprofit organization, Hands to Heart. Not only do I do events here in Florida, I've also been doing it in Jamaica with my niece and her husband. So we are touching the lives of homeless people everywhere. I want to go global with that, but one step at a time. Definitely with DW, I want to keep it going. I believe God is calling me to a brand. I've been trying to hide from it. I've been trying to dodge it, but he's like, let's get it. So we're gonna have to have a meeting because I can't dodge and hide it anymore. I might have to talk to Maverick Mama. She scares me a little bit, but it's gonna be okay. We have a sisterhood she don't know about yet. And that's just basically, I'm just letting God lead me in everything.
Yeah.
But definitely my outreach and my nonprofit and doing what God called me to do for Diamond Riders and TGI.
Yes, and we absolutely love the work that you're doing, not just here, the amazing things that you're doing through iShine, and all the communities that you're building under iShine for TGI, but the work that you've been doing for Hands to Heart. I mean, just years that you serve here, you are also pouring there. And I applaud it. Like, everyone always asks, like, Natima, oh, how do you do all this? It's all in one lane. You are doing work in multiple lanes and multiple outreach, avenues and conduits, and yet you serve the same in every space. And so I applaud you for that work. And then, raising your beautiful girls. It's so much that you're doing. It is so much that you're doing. And so I know there's more in there, but I'm so grateful that you are here and that you are pouring and serving and collaborating with us here. So listen, as she mentioned, please, where one more time, how can they connect with you on social media and how can they reach Hands to Heart? Because you have an event coming up soon.
Okay, so you can follow me on my company's website, handsheart.org. On Instagram, it's Marlene Edwards 0816. I also have Hands, the number 2, Hands 2 Hearts Inc. on TikTok. You can follow me, Marlene Edwards 04, and then on Facebook, just my regular name, Marlene Edwards.
Yes, make sure that y'all go do it. Of course, Marlene, after your interview, please drop your handles once more in the chat so that they can actually get it. There is an event coming up for Hands to Hearts this winter at the end of the year. She does it every year. Please contribute anything that you can. I'm telling you, these women, these families, these children, these men, these communities are blessed by her generosity. They are blessed by her heart for people. There are so many folks in church. Now, y'all knew I was going to have one of these moments, so let me cook. There are so many people in church who say that they are called, but the scripture says, when you do for the least of these, you have done for me. And I paraphrase, but that is what Marlene's organization, Hands to Hearts, does. They are literally serving the least of what we consider the least of men, who many of us overlook. We don't give the time of day. Her organization is making sure not only are they fed, but that they feel seen and supported and championed and encouraged and loved on. So please make sure that y'all go one more time, Lena. You give it to them again because I'm going to stress it. I'm going to get on their nerves. One more time, please.
Hands to Hearts Inc. or handstoheart.org. That's where you can find me at.
Please go and follow her. And Lena E., when you get a chance, please drop it in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, I already know you're going to beat me on the prayer call on Tuesday. You always do, and you and Michelle. But I am so grateful for the way you pour, the way you serve, the way you show up, and the way you support the vision. I was talking about you earlier. I don't know if you saw how you and Michelle had to call me this week and get me all the way together. And I'm so grateful for your love and your sisterhood and your support. So thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Mama. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you soon. If not, definitely Tuesday. All right. Love you, girl. All right, y'all. We got one more. I was hoping that La Vie was able to make it back. I'm gonna have to have a special interview with her. We'll have her on Hustle and Shine because she deserves an opportunity to share with you the work that she has done in this book. She just unfortunately cannot be here tonight. I thought I saw her for a little bit backstage, but maybe she had to go because she is at a gig right now. But sending her so much love. If she joins, I'm gonna bring her on. If not, I will set it up where she can be on Hustle and Shine. So make sure that you come over to that show or platform in the weeks ahead to meet with La Vie. But we have one diamond who is here and who has been patiently waiting backstage to come and tell you all about her chapter. This is one of my newer diamonds, one of my newest shining ladies, my new transparent gems. Come on out here, Hidden Stone. Let the people meet you. Let the people see you. How are you? It's not letting me unmute you. Hold on. You got to unmute you. It won't let me do it. There we go.
There we go. There we go. I have been waiting patiently. Hey, Tima. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here today. Oh my
Yes. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you stuck around and you made it. Okay, listen, I see all the 90s theme energy behind you. Please explain the backdrop. Please explain the background.
I figured the book is like 90s, so I love the 90s. So I said, let me just put a little backdrop back there and put my little sign up there. You know, I kept my sign from the retreat.
Yes.
So exactly. So I'm in my zone today.
Yes, I love it. And I see you got on your bamboo earrings just like she has
And I
on
got
in
my
the
shirt
cover.
on, but how about I got some little crab juice right here because you brought up crabs and I went and bought me a bag. And honey, since I was waiting, I was eating and it just went to drinking.
Listen, Sundays are for seafood boil. That's just how I feel. I'm sticking
Yeah.
to it. Can't nobody argue that down. But I'm so
Exactly.
glad. Exactly. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're with us. And I'm excited to give you the floor. So please introduce yourself and your chapter. Tell us a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, my name is Lakeisha, aka Hidden Stone or H Stone. My chapter is the audacity to think that I'm different. And basically, my chapter just discuss how, Lord help me. My chapter just explains how I thought growing up that I would be in a different marriage than what I saw in my household, but in turn, I end up having the same kind of marriage. And it's not to downplay or to make anyone feel like they did not do a good job. It's basically just saying how we think as parents that we're hiding stuff from our kids, but in actuality, our kids know everything that's going on in our household. As much as we try to, just keep them out of the loop, they still knew. And mine still knew. You know what I mean? So basically, I had to write this chapter because my kids are now adult children, and it's now I'm able to just say how I feel and feel how I say. I feel like I just kept it all bottled in and just raised my kids and just didn't worry about what was going on the back end, just to stay focused on them. But in turn, now I can step out, have my voice, and be able to express how I feel and demand what I demand.
That is so good. You are saying something so profound and something that's so real in our communities where our parents do their best. They think that we're going to come out of situation unscathed. They think that we don't see it, we don't hear it, we don't recognize it, but we do. And
Yeah.
then we have to put our truth and our life till later because we are protecting our children. And so we don't really get to deal with us until much later. And so I really do love that that is exactly what you explore in your chapter is what that transition looked like. Like, oh, I thought I was different, but it's the same cycle. It's the same pattern. Tell us a little bit more about why you were inspired to write that particular piece and why that was what you wanted to share with our gems and gents.
Because I think that's like the foundation of who I am. I'm a good friend. I'm a mother. I'm a grandma now to an amazing granddaughter, and I'm a sister, and I'm someone that's always there to give advice to others, and I'm the best advice giver, But when it comes to me, that's why my name is Hidden Stone. I hide a lot of the stuff that I'm going through, and I stay strong on the outside so no one knows that I'm actually hurting in the inside. And I've been able to do that for so long to where people just look at me and think I keep it all together all the time, but really I don't. I'm really a hot mess underneath all this. You know what I mean? But I just play it all very well, So that's why I wrote this chapter because it was just necessary. Now I'm at the point now where I'm about to hit the big 5-0. I just want to live. I want to be happy in my life. I want to make sure that people that are around me are happy and people that feed into me are the right people. So whatever I have to do to journal, to write, to talk it out, or just express how I feel, I am now. Because for a long time I was silent, and I just went through the motions just to put on this facade like I had it all together. My marriage was great. My relationships with my family was great. You just hide behind so much to where, like now I can't hide no more. It's just like bricks on top of me. So I have to release it.
Yes, that is so good. That's so real. When I mean good, not good that you went through it, but good
Yeah,
that you
I
can talk
know.
about it so freely. So what was, the journey like for you coming to the diamonds, being confronted with what you were carrying? Because that is one thing that is inevitable here. You are going to be confronted with your mess in this
Yeah.
space. So nobody let you get away with
Mhm.
hiding. So what was that like becoming a diamond, starting this intentional healing journey with journaling and talking and having to share? How has that helped in your transformation?
I would have never thought I would have been a diamond. I don't even do girl groups. Like, I'm not a girl group person. Like, I'm just really not. You know what I mean? So, like, for me to be in a group of women and women from New York, because I'm from Miami. So New York and Miami really don't vibe like that. You know what I mean? So it's a whole lot of things that just are not right about this group. Whereas if you would have told me I would have been in this group, I would have been like, these people wear makeup on a regular basis. I don't. You know what I mean? It's like they do a whole lot of stuff I don't do. You know what I mean? So I started off actually being a voice or being a confidant for Cooper, for Jessica. And I just had, and she just loved the fact that I can just, help her and tell her, girl, I'm here for you, give her hugs and all that, But all I kept on saying is, Lord, I'm listening to this lady's story, but we got similar issues going on. So why am I sitting over here not broken? You know what I mean? I'm like, so I was like, I'm really just not understand. Like, I'm not visible. I'm not understanding that I am Coop. You know what I mean? Like, we have the same exact lifestyle. Like, she went through the same things in her marriage. She went through the insecurities of herself the same way I did. Like, everything was just lining up. And I had like, she always told me, oh my God, I can always depend on you to give me a good word. And all I was thinking is, Lord, I need these same words. Why am I not following them? You know what I mean? So, so that's what made me say, you know what? I have to join this group, because I start seeing a transition in her, like where she would be real reserved and quiet. Now she's able to speak out and say stuff and just not be embarrassed about it. Like, I'm not embarrassed to say that I went through this. I'm not embarrassed to say that I accepted things in my marriage that was not, great. He just stood on everything that was wrong and just said it and didn't care if people judged her or nothing like that. So I said, let me join this group. And then Kiera was the host. So that just did it for me, because we got the same kind of spirit. And I love somebody that can tell a quick joke, like just like this. And Kiera is just absolutely funny to me. So between her and Coop, I was just like, I have to try it. Let me just get in the group, because I had no intentions on writing a book at all. I just wanted to be in the space of something that changed her so well, and thinking maybe it can have me where I need to say. So I just thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm so glad you joined. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm glad whatever got you here, you are here. So what do you
I
hope?
couldn't hear you, Tima. What did you say?
Uh-oh. Did I break up? No,
It
I was
was
just saying I'm
lagging,
glad you're
honey,
here.
over here. We in the
You know where
woods,
we
Tima.
at.
So
Now, I was just going to say, we over here in Snellville. It is definitely in the sticks. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So I was just asking you to share what you hope readers take away from your chapter.
I wrote my chapter for my sisters, for women, mothers, and I really just want women to be able to stand up and have a voice. You don't have to get so consumed with raising kids that you don't address what goes on in your marriage. You can still have a healthy marriage and raise kids. I think so many times, and that's on the woman and the man. I feel like so many times when you get in a marriage and then once you start having kids, it's like it changes the whole dynamics of the marriage, where you're in a marriage and you're no longer there for each other because the kids become priority. But you also have to know, as a mom, you have to have time for you. You have to sow into yourself. You have to have time just to break away from the kids and do things that make you happy. And that's the element that I'm in right now. So if a woman can take away from my chapter that it's okay to experience or see things growing up and think that that's something that you're not going to do, but like, once you get older, realize that it's okay if you do go through those trials. Like, I watch my parents go through trials and tribulations, but I don't hold my mom responsible for what happened in my marriage or what happened in my later part of my years. I look at that and look at the fact that although she may have went through that stuff, she actually came out stronger because of it. And I was able to handle that same stuff because I was already prepared for it. You know, so that's my thing, just to get some strength as women and not just accept stuff because we just feel like we have to stay in a marriage just because we have kids, or we have to stay in a marriage and be unhappy. Because now I'm at a good place. You know what I mean? We have gotten to the point where we understand that it's him and myself. You know what I mean? And we talk, but you know, it takes time to get to that point. And then we had kids young. I've been married for 25 years. So that goes to show how young I was when I was 21 when I got married. So it's like you got to go through all of life. Life be life, and how they say life be life, and then kids back to back, and like it's just a lot. So, you know, don't be afraid to admit that, you know, you may not have done a good job as a mom. It's okay. Like, and then don't hold your parents accountable. Don't hold your parents at fault just because your mom may have stayed in the marriage or someone may have stayed in the marriage, because you don't know the situation. You know what I mean? You don't know. You really don't know to judge it. And they did the best they could, because everyone handles that stuff different. You know what I mean? Everyone can't process it the same way. I was just strong enough to go through it all and still be able to raise my kids fine, but I still affected them. It was inevitable for them to be affected. So that's the biggest thing.
That's powerful. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And I definitely hope that resonates with readers as well. What's next for you? What can we expect from you next?
Hopefully I won't be homeless after this book. No, I'm just joking. You know, see, but you knew I was gonna say that, child. Homeless kicked out on the street. Somebody let me in. Somebody let me in. Team, I know where you stay. Okay, I'm gonna pull up.
Come on over.
Because I love my baby daddy. So I don't want nobody to think I don't love my baby daddy. I love my baby daddy. Okay. I'm just saying. But but on all seriousness, you know, I continue with the Diamond Writers. I love doing that. I love being able to this book thing and this journaling thing has really helped me. And it helps me to help other people. So like even through me doing this, like what Coop did for me, I'm able to do for my other friends. And they're able to see me actually be expressive and say what's wrong and, you know, challenge people on things. So that will help my other sister to have voice, or my other friends to have a voice, you know. So that's my goal. And continue to be a grandma, a mommy to these adult kids and just figure it out, you know? So,
I love it. Well, you know, we have plenty here for you in the Diamond Writer community, and we are so glad that you are with us. So how can people connect with you? How can they support you, stay in touch with you?
They can connect with me on Facebook, Lakeisha Smith Johnson, or either through Diamond Writers.
Yes, we love it. Well, listen, I am glad that you are here. Like you said, you and Kiera have similar energy and y'all bring a party to every meeting. I love that you showed up in this space transparent. You showed up in this space as yourself. You came with big energy. And I'm so glad that you found friends among us that you didn't feel the need to shrink, because that is what I do not want women to come here and feel like, ooh, I gotta shrink. I can't be as much as be all of you. And I love that you do that here. So thank you for your contributions to Audacity. Listen, y'all go get the book. The public author, y'all go get the book.
How you do, team?
You already know. I'm going
I already know.
Okay.
Exactly.
I grew up in the 80s. I grew up watching Men on Film and Men on whatever. They always gave the snap. So that's where I get that from. I give the snap. But thank you, Lakeisha Hidden Stone, or H Stone, whichever you want to call her. Just make sure you call her with respect. Make sure that you drop your handles in the chat, in the group comments before we end the show, so that people can go and follow you and support you. But thank you for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you,
Keisha, for being here. And you know, I will see you. You know how we do, us Diamond Writers. All right. Have a good rest of the night, Keisha.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right, Gems and Gents, thank you so much for coming back after the 2 o'clock show to the 6 o'clock show, meeting all of our contributing authors, all of our transparent gems and diamonds. What amazing women they are. I hope that you were inspired, motivated, blessed, encouraged, all the words, all the things. Now, before I go, I do want to choose a winner for our giveaway. It is giveaway time. Giveaway time. So if you shared this live, you should have commented by now, shared, and that way you are eligible to be selected for the giveaway. So let me scroll, let me see who is in the building. Man, it's so much love in these comments. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you so much to my diamonds. I love how you show up for your sisters. I absolutely love all of the love in the comments for each other. Y'all are just dope. But all right, let me find a winner. Let me scroll back in the 6 o'clock hour. Who shared the live? I know y'all playing in my face right now. Ain't nobody shared this live. Y'all play too much. Nobody shared. This is crazy. I can't find a winner. I'm quite sad now, y'all. All right. I don't have no winner. I don't see the word shared nowhere in here. I see the word shirt, but I think Jessica was talking about Taisha's dope t-shirt. I don't see shared at all in the comments. Oh man. And I found one. Yes, congratulations, Meta Morrison. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing this live. Congratulations. You are our giveaway winner. We have a beautiful Audacity gift box for you. It is not just the book, honey. You getting the book plus, okay? You getting the book and that is going to be coming to you. So if you are still on the live Meta, please make sure that you contact me through the Diamond Writers Facebook or Instagram account, sharing your address. If you are not comfortable giving us your home address, I understand. You can give us your P.O. box, a mailing address, the job address, auntie's address, boo things, whoever you want us to get this package to you. We would love to ship that to you. Congratulations. If she's no longer on the live and you happen to know this person, you were the one that invited this lovely gem, please make sure that you let her know she was our Audacity gift box winner tonight and that I need to get it to her. So please make sure that Erica Cooper and Meta Morrison both are contacted about their boxes and to email me their addresses. Listen, thank y'all so much for coming and celebrating these amazing women with me. I plan to get off this live and go have a good old hearty cry because I just feel so overwhelmed and overjoyed to have provided this space for them to share with you and with me. These stories are amazing. I don't just say that because I compiled it. I don't just say that because I'm here. I say that because it's real. These are amazing stories, and you will be inspired. You will be motivated, and you will be encouraged to start your own healing journey. So thank you, Diamonds. Thank you, Transparent Gems. Thank you, Gems. Thank you, Gents, for an amazing night. And until next time, y'all know what to do. Continue to be great and continue to hustle and shine. Mwah. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night.